Hello YouTube, this is TerraTech Computers, your host, host Charlie. Today, as you see here, is a micro computer, kind of like an ATX computer. It's a buddy of mine, he's wanting to get into YouTube, and he doesn't have a lot of room at his place, so I found him this on Facebook for like 50 bucks. It's 4 gigs for RAM, 500 gig hard drive, 300 watt power supply, Intel motherboard, i3 21, 2100 processor. I mean, it's not bad for 50 bucks. I mean, it's pretty damn good, honestly. Um, but yeah, so also came with a GT210 video card. So cool. But yeah, so he wanted to upgrade it so he can do like Premiere and stuff on it. So it should be able to handle that. You know, there's a GT210 and i3, but it should handle that decently. Um, Eventually, he's upgraded the power supply from a 300 to a 350, 400, so you can run a 1050 Ti or a like a 560, 580 AMD video card. But either or, I mean, it'll run it. So, or even 1060. So, yeah. Anyways, we went to Micro Center recently, and he picked up a 3 terabyte hard drive and a 240 gig SSD drive. If I'm not mistaken. So. And yeah, the price on it is $80, but actually it only costs I think it's like $35. Just like other YouTubers like Linus and other tech channels, we drop stuff. Luckily, it wasn't the hard drive, so and I got carpet too, or not carpet, got rug, so yay. So and we picked up a 3 terabyte hard drive for under 60 bucks. It's a Toshiba. It still works. So what we plan on doing is replacing the 500 gig drive and this tower. I already got my Molex to SATA connector, so we can have multiple SATA connectors because this power supply only comes with 2 SATA, 2 Molex, and 1 floppy. 2 4-pin and a 4-pin connector. So that's not I guess very far. So I got this. You get these like cheap on eBay for like 5 or 6 of these for like $8. So it's not too bad. I usually buy a bunch of these with a pack of SATA cables because I tend to use those a lot. So a lot of people do though. So without further ado, I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way here and start tearing this tower down. First things first, my screwdriver. Voila. It's magnetic too, so it actually makes the job a lot easier. So we'll start by taking the side panel off. This case is a little small, so it can't handle your normal ATX power supplies. Instead, it handles a SFX power supply. So, which isn't bad. Just I wish they wasn't so damn costly to buy a bigger unit, which kind of stinks, but it's all good though. Start with the panel. Bam. Put that down there. As you can see inside the case here, you have the video card. Oops, sorry. Video card, processor, burner, hard drive. Yeah, that's it. Kind of small. So now I gotta remove the hard drive. So make sure you also have your power supply always get disconnected before you try any of this. And also, no more rule. Always hit the power button after you unplug the power supply or flip the off switch. That way you know for sure all the power is drained out of it, and nothing will power. And like I say, hit a click button, nothing turns on. That means all the capacitors and the PSU or power supply is drained. Same thing goes with the motherboard. So, I disconnected the SATA cable. Here's our Molex connector we'll be using with the wire splitter. So we'll hook up that first. super easy. If you see here, these connectors match based on the shape. I mean, you can't put a, I know they're both 4 pins, but you can't fit this in here. Like, this won't fit. So you know that's not the right one anyways. Also, the shape is completely different. This is what you use for like center cards, or some networking cards have this hookup, but this is mostly your common floppy drive connector. So, because the floppy drive won't handle a big ass Molex connector. And this is a SATA connector. So, the only differences that I found out is that SATA uses like 6 pin configuration versus like Ribbon, as you can see in this thing here. So this is what they say anyways. But yeah, so say using multiple wires to run it or connectors is actually less, and it's actually more connectivity, because instead of having like these things getting loose on you and wiggling, it's a more solid connection. But in this case, we have to use this because the power supply only has 2 SATA ports, or SATA connectors, and one is for the power supply. Oh, not power supply, but the DV burner. So let's get this in. If you look at the thing, it does match my shape. So you're gonna play like wooden blocks or like connects, whatever. It's gonna work. The best way I found when connecting a Molex connector is always hold the wires up firmly. That way the pins don't pop out, because some of these connectors are loose pins and they will fall out of the connector. So let's be careful. You have to be warned. And so now we have 2 SATA connectors. So that's beneficial. Now it's kind of weird, but this front cover needs to come off. There's 3 lip tabs. So you do this all in a row, and this pops off. Now we have access to the hard drive and the second drive bay. So take my handy screwdriver here and undo this. Also, this computer did come originally Windows 7. I'm going to turn that into Windows 10. So he has more availability of stuff to use on his computer. Let's see here. Trying to find the other connector here. There it is. Found out the screw. Yay! So in this case, I have a front screw, which is kind of weird, but it works. Bam. Move my phone out of the way here. So from my chair, it's very squeaky. The thing I like about this holder is it doesn't have like 4 screws in it like it should, but that's okay. We can fix that. I got tons of extra screws floating around my room. So, and I dropped my screwdriver. Like I said, we drop stuff all the time. So we don't do these 2 screws. And remember this. And I make more noise. Make sure you hold the hard drive too when you're doing this, because some hard drive trays will have where the hard drive will drop out of them if you're not holding it properly, like this one. Then you slide it up, and bam. We'll put this off to the side. I'll probably use that later on a different system, just for the hell of it. Now, we're going to install the hard drive in here first. Take out the plastic. Boom. Put this off the side, and we have a Toshiba PC P300 2TB drive. I know I said 3 TB, but I didn't expect this. Hold on. Here it is. Try to receipt here. Make sure. It was a 2 TB drive, so I apologize. It was $55. I thought it was a 3 TB because they had mixed in with the 3 TB hard drive price range, so I assumed that's the one we grabbed. Yeah, it wasn't that one. So, very big tip is, you see this hole right here where my fingertip is? That is so the hard drive can breathe. It's very, very important not to cover this at all, Because if we do, it won't breathe and it won't be able to run correctly. And eventually it'll break. If you see a little black space, and that's a filter to filter out the dust and particles. I know it's kind of weird because nowadays you have helium filled drives and you don't actually need a breathing port no more. So that makes it kind of redundant now, but they still do make drives with the breathing port for accessibilities. And don't worry, me putting this drive in here like this isn't going to affect the breathing hole, as you can see. And when I put it back in the case, it's not going to affect it either. For those of you who might be concerned about it. So tighten the screws down. You have to over tighten these so you don't actually strip them, because that'd be bad. And we don't want that. So, oops, wrong screw. Aha. Hey there. Now I want to dig out a couple of screws for the SSD drive. Now SSD drives, you don't need like 4 screws to hold it securely in the case, because that movable parts and memory chips are super light. So you don't have to worry about too much at all. So you can even hold them together as one screw on the side of a disk drive port or slot even. That's how much you don't have to worry about it. Now we see a little movement here. That's because this screw is a little loose though. So now as you hand tighten them with the shaft of the screwdriver, take the handle and get a couple turns. Not too much though, because you don't want to put a whole lot of pressure behind it, because you can strip out the screw holes on the hard drive and that'd be bad. Because then, because how this tray is designed, you can't actually get these back out again unless you drill them out, and then you have a chance of damaging the hard drive housing, which would be another bad thing to happen. So, since you got the hard drive in now, we slide back in place, snug, put this missing screw back in the tray, and then we'll open up the SSD drive box and hook it up next. Now in a future video, while I'm doing this, I'll be doing a laptop upgrade that I just picked up. Neat little project. Tell you more about it in a future video. Alright, apparently that screwdriver is not the best idea to use for this, but my knife is in that pocket at the moment. So there's our SSD drive. Bam, super light. If you guys are curious, this is actually made by Toshiba or SanDisk, because they're made by the same company. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Toshiba uses Micron memory chips. So it's actually it's very cool, and it still hold up really well. Now, if you see it, I gotta find me a screw that'll fit that hole. And as I said earlier, I do have a lot of extra screws. Just have to find one. And I found one. Believe it or not, that's the hardest thing to find sometimes, is a screw. Now, judging by this hard drive bay down here, I'm only going to be able to put in 1 screw. Maybe 2 if I'm lucky. But that should be just enough. See here, okay, manage here. Nah, can't put 2 screws in there. So, maybe there's why you can put 2 screws inside of an SSD drive. If you has the mountain holes based on a 2.5-inch drive. So instead of having 6 holes of Bictrum, you only got 4. In this case, I can only use 1 by buying a 2.5-inch to 3.25-inch adapter. It's like $5 for it, and is that worth the price? So just slowly tighten this drive down, and eventually it'll get solid enough it won't be loose. Yeah, that's just snug. You guys get a better view here. See? Nice and snug. And I'll take with one screw. Now, the challenge of this matter is find me another second wire, which I forgot to grab. So, yeah, I wish these some of these SSD drives will come with a SATA cable, but you know, and unfortunately, I don't have that many extras somewhere. Because this is actually my last extra SATA cable. I gotta buy more. So, anyhow, we'll find an empty port on the motherboard here. We'll put serial 4 because it's like wide open. I'm going to try and dig for the other ones right now. Now, each serial connector has an L shape to it. Both the power connector and the data cable has an L shape. So you can't really mess it up. Oh, well, you can, but it's really difficult because an L only goes in one way. So, now, I'm going to be the smart person here. I think I'm going to be the smart person. And I'm going to put in the data cables first. Yep. Yeah. SSD drives in. Hard drive's hooked up. And now I'm going to hook up the packet connectors. I'm not using the SATA connector. I'm going to use the Y splitter. So, it's just I don't have this on here all the way. So, try this again. Should have done this one first, huh? You always line up the L to hook up the SATA data cable. There you go. Now it's on there. Now for the hard part is getting the power connector. Now, I'm going to use this for example. These both have an L shape too. Where the L shape angle is where the SATA cable and the power connector both meet. So if you think you're doing it wrong, as long as they meet up, you got to go in the right way. So let's keep that in mind. So you can also feel for it too, because of that reason. There's the first one. Now for the second one. And so much about management. No. Let's shove these wires down here, get them out of the way. Bam. And there we have it. Put in a 2 TB drive, a 240 gig SSD. Yes, it looks like it wobbles on something because it has one screw. And it's not going to hurt it much at all. So, there we have it. The future update for this build, I'm going to be doing a video card swap. Switching out the 210 for probably a 640 GT. I mean, it's probably the highest end video card I can get for the system. Based on the power supply wattage being only 300. That's going by PSU calculator. There's like XVision, I think the name of the website is. Oh no, Outer Vision. There we go. And to get the money to get a better power supply, maybe get like a Silverstone or a Seasonic, 350 watt or 400 watt plus. Then we can actually upgrade this video card to a 1050 or 1060. I know yes, it's saying that it's a really tight fit, but I'll show you something. I happen to have a GTX 760 right here in my hands. So it's a 4-size video card. If you look, it actually does fit. I mean, oops, sorry. It really does fit, and it still has about an inch to a space left. So, I mean, it does work pretty. It does fit. I mean, the only thing this case lacks, I would say, would be thermal dissipation, because it only has 2 fans: this PSU fan and a CPU fan, or processor fan, for those who don't know. And the video card has no fan at all. The motherboard is set to have 3 fans hooked up to it. I might do a follow-up video and mod this case a little bit with my Dremel. And if you follow my finger here, I probably cut this open a little bit, get rid of some of these squares, and maybe move the stop button down a little bit, or just use a 40 millimeter fan to blow air through the bottom of the case. And if you look down here in this section, I actually cut that out and install a dual 40 millimeter fan upgrade in that too if I need to. Now, you have to see this screw here. It does come off. If I really want to be stingy, I don't think stingy would be the right word for it. Complicated. That sounds better. I can the disk drive, and in return I can put a radiator right here, drill some holes, zip tie it, or screw it, whichever, and mount it that way. Now I can also mount it on the side panel of the case, like I have done with other computers of mine, and this work. Just this is difficult because it's not your typical side panel, as you can tell. So for now, this has to work. My part 2 of this video, I will do a OSL Windows 10, and you guys see how it handles different applications like FormArc for graphics, or I run what's that called? I forgot the program's called. Ada64, or I think that's how you pronounce it, or Ada. You get the idea. So I'll do that next. But further ado, I'm gonna put the side panel back on and the front plate. Super easy. Just line up these little claws, is what I call them, and then they clip on. Super easy. If I get the bottom claw on properly. There we go. That's it. And then you have your side panel. I always try to line up the bottom ones first, then line up the front ones, then slowly push it on. And use a little bit of strength sometimes too, because sometimes it doesn't always align, which was what just happens. There we go. Okay. I hate side panels. There you go. Now it's fine on there. Yay. Woo! Yeah. We have 2 screws left for the back panel. And believe it or not, these 2 screws secure the power supply and the side panel, and also secures the back plate of the CPU cooler as well. I always start these with finger tighten first. Then I take my screwdriver and finish the job. The back one always gives you trouble. So, little first, it's in there. Or not. Ah, it came back apart of me. There we go. That explains why. Like I said, I really hate these types of side panels because they stink. And it makes the PC easy to walk around, I guess. I still don't like them at all. Shoot. Yeah, drop my other screw. Let's see here. I am doing great, ain't I? Well, shoot. I actually did drop my screw somewhere. Oh well. I have another one right here. Oh, never mind. Found it. And there you have it. Updated and everything like that. And just so you guys know, everything still powers on. I'm not gonna hook up a keyboard, but I'll hook up the power connector and the screen and drop my camera. Move this out of the way. Bring this up. And that's a beep because there's no operating system on this drive. But there you have it. Warning, keyboard not found. But like I said, it turns on. And yeah, I do have a keyboard right here. So slide that in. Hit up 2. Bam. Here we go. Configuration. Set drives. There's the TCU drive, and there's the SSD drive. The ATP API drive is the 2. Oh, that's a wow. I think that would be considered the DVD better. Who knew? But you see the SSD in there, and you see the that. I want to have a. Oh, it does have it. Sweet. Bam. So there you have it. All done. And apparently these are several hot plug compatibility too. This case doesn't have the ability, but it works out. So save the connecting. Hit yes. Still no operating system, but I'll be installing Windows 10 on this in my next video because I have to get me a key, which I don't have one at the moment. So thanks for watching. So you guys stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.